Tee to Green is brought to you by Cleary Building Corp.
Welcome back to Tee to Green. Unfortunately, we don't have a makeup person, so in order for the old man to be able to see notes, the old man does need cheaters, readers, whatever you want to call them, so I can see what to talk to you about. And on a more serious note, we want to get a little bit more in depth to give our viewers kind of a better feel for what this show is all about, and we'll get into that as this show evolves. But first and foremost, the Balance and Believe Foundation that you were an integral part of, you started it. Take us back to the genesis of that, and then we'll go from there.
It all started kind of back in an apartment with my wife and I, and I think everybody knows the story pretty much. I was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and I needed to make some changes in my life. And I thought when I was up at Hazelden, the part that I really needed to do was figure out what was going to make me happy. And I thought what made me happy was kind of promoting junior golf. And then, my mom died from cancer in 1982 when I was 12 years old, and that was a pretty tough part for me and my family. So I wanted to give back. I thought there was a way for us to kind of promote some junior golf and raise some money for the Carbone Center down there. And that's really where it all started. My wife came up with the name of the Bucket of Hope Junior Tour. And that was just a series of tournaments throughout the city of Madison, and try to provide a platform for the kids to find competition, but also kind of cultivate relationships and friendships, because I really thought that would be what would catapult us in growing the game.
I think that's part and parcel to your enthusiasm for wanting to do the things that you're now doing philanthropically that is helping to grow the game from the ground up.
Yeah, and it's interesting, I think one of the hardest things to this day for me to hear is when parents come up and say thank you. I was just out in Arizona, and they were asking me, Lauren Skibb's mom was asking me, do you ever get nervous when you watch them? And no, I don't. For me, I'm always watching them to figure out if there's ways for me to make them more successful. So I think, moving from the Bucket of Hope Junior Tour, having the opportunities at Vitens to teach golf, get better at it, and you heard me last year, I say teaching, not instruction. I think there's a lot of people that are very good at instruction. I would say I am not, but I do think I'm a teacher, and I do think that the performance philosophy that we've come up with through the Balance and Believe Academy has been something that, we've been very fortunate to work with some good players, but at the same time, the success has also been very fun. So,
we'll continue our conversation with Derek in just a moment. You're watching Tee to Green.
Tee to Green is brought to you by Cleary Building Corp.